we can conclude that the people in Hollywood, the elites, they know better. Meaning, they know that the people that they want to be freed, right? Or the place that they want to be freed has nothing to do with them. Meaning, the values don't align, right? Islam does not align with the values of Hollywood. It does not. So, folks, there's got to be something else. There has to be something else. What is that something else? Let's do a little bit of investigation. We know that Hollywood, they are Gnostic fruitcakes. They're involved in all kinds of weird stuff. Weird spiritualist stuff. Weird, I don't know, pagan, Gnostic, maybe demonic, maybe satanic, etc., etc. Okay. My friends, let's go back to history. Who renamed Judea? Who gave it the name Palestine or Palestina? The Romans, right? What did they also rename at that time after they destroyed it? They took over Jerusalem, they destroyed the temple, and they renamed it Aelia Capitolina. Folks, what is that name? What is the purpose of that name? The name was for the commemoration of and the buildings of temples for their god Jupiter, the pagan god. And then they had other gods, whatever it was, other temples there called Capitolinas. Alright? So, my friends, we've been struggling to understand why non-Muslims and people who do not share Islamic values at all, who do not... By the way, Muslims are probably more conservative than any so-called white nationalist. If you want to talk about, Handmaid's Tale, folks, if anybody would make a Handmaid's Tale society, and has made a Handmaid's Tale society, Saudi Arabia, Iran, right? It's them, right? So, it doesn't check out for these fruitcakes in Hollywood to be supporting Islam and or Arabs, unless they want to free Palestine for a completely different purpose. Notice, folks, whenever the UN or the Vatican talks about Jerusalem, what do they always say? We have to do what? Put Jerusalem under UN control and internationalize the city. Folks, do you know what internationalizing the city means? That means that when you internationalize, in this context, the city of Jerusalem, you can bring whatever fruity pagan crap into it that you want. That's not to say maybe it's already happening, right? But if you officially internationalize it, besides Islam and besides like Jews being there, you can bring in whatever fruity pagan stuff. You know, it could be for everybody, right? We have to have freedom of every religion, including Wicca and pagan and Satanists and, whatever. My friends, these people want to free Palestine not for Arabs. They want to free Palestine for themselves. They want to free Aelia Capitolina. That is what they want. Palestina. They want to establish a temple for, it doesn't have to be the god Jupiter, it could be some other gods that they worship, right? Whether you're talking about Rosicrucians, whether you're talking about Scientologists, you guys see South Park, right? They weren't so far off, right? That's what they want. Folks, make no mistake. The people who got up on stage last night at the Emmys, Tun Hadkeva, a holler and hoot about Arabs, and or Islam, and or Muhammad, and or anything that has to do with anything in the Quran, which is literally antithetical to their lifestyle, right? It's antithetical to anything woke or anything LGBT and Q and sometimes Y and derivative of whatever, right? And integral and cosine and tangent. Folks, ain't got nothing to do with nothing. They want their pagan God temples back. You know, folks, sometimes I think, you notice the last however many years, 10 years, all these singers came to Israel to you know, these singers that we now know are demonic, satanic people, came to Israel to perform. Folks, I don't think they came to Israel because they like Jews and the Torah and Judaism. I think they came to Israel to do their fruity little, that's just my own personal thing, right? I'm not, maybe not the only person that thinks this, but folks, Free Palestine for Hollywood does not represent the same thing as Free Palestine for Arabs. Not even close. It's ancient Rome, my friends, and as I mentioned in a previous video, this is how ancient Rome fell. It fell because it was involved in all of these things and all of these depravities that we see. And they think, listen, that they're going to revive ancient Rome if they get back their Aelia Capitolina and they build their temples. Folks, guess what? It ain't going to happen. And you know what? I'll do you one more. Not only will it not happen, we're going to build our temple there in their face, in the face of the modern version of ancient Rome. And ain't going to be no more Syria, Palestina, ain't going to be no more Aelia Capitolina, no more Hadrian, no more nothing. You'll get nothing and like it. Okay? Alright, guys. Any questions? Open for comments. Peace out.